Tony Khan revealing that he has some major surprises planned for AEW. I'm going to tell you guys what you guys can expect. Also on top of that, Major League Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, possibly having some backstage issues. Possibly the reason why Will Ospreay has yet to debut. Also on top of that, AEW Rampage, some very interesting plans there. We're going to talk about it all in today's video. So if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring the bell. So we're going to kick things off with AEW Rampage because Tony Khan did recently reveal that AEW will be doing a taped episode for AEW Rampage, but instead of it being on Christmas Eve, it's actually going to be pushed back to Saturday on the 25th, which is Christmas Day. Now, actually, I personally don't like this idea because Christmas Day at nighttime, I don't know. To me, there's something about this. I celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, specifically with my family, as well as Christmas Day in the morning. And, you know, I like to watch my Christmas movies on Christmas Day. That's just me personally. Now, the thing is, with AEW Rampage being taped, it's not necessarily a big deal. I just have a very strong feeling for AEW specifically that most of their viewership on this episode will come from DVR, which, if you actually look at the numbers lately, that seems to be a big thing for AEW, which is a good thing. You know, people obviously DVR the show if they can't watch it live, and then they go and watch it. So it's not necessarily a bad thing for AEW, but for me personally, for my viewing experience, I'm just not too happy with this news. But ultimately, it's a tough situation because Christmas Eve, I wouldn't have been able to watch Rampage either. So at the end of the day, AEW is probably going to do something very special for this taped episode, and it's probably going to be holiday themed, which I think is great for AEW. I'm curious to see what they do, but I am glad that AEW does think in advance about the holidays. Just in general, sometimes I feel like wrestling companies need to do better with that, and it looks like AEW yet again is being pretty proactive. I do want to talk a little bit about Will Ospreay and MLW, his potential debut. It was released just a couple weeks ago, the news that Will Ospreay would debut for MLW. Now, MLW is working with All Japan Pro Wrestling, which reportedly has NJPW feeling somewhat weird about it. They're not too keen on that idea. And because of that, it's been allegedly reported that essentially New Japan has pulled Will Ospreay from MLW. Now, Will Ospreay has come out on Twitter and basically said, hey, don't, you know, he's basically just telling people it's going to happen at some point when the time is right. And look, I don't know what's really going on here, but I don't like when wrestling is advertised or when something is advertised and then it's pulled away. And I get it. Card subject to change. But obviously, MLW doing this stuff with All Japan Pro Wrestling just doesn't seem as beneficial as them working with New Japan, so I don't know what really happened here. And I really don't know what to expect going forward, whether or not we will actually get Will Ospreay and MLW. But for those who wanted an alternative to WWE and AEW, I always tell people that MLW is a great option. So, you know, the idea of MLW and New Japan working together, for me as a fan, it's more viable, it's more attractive with New Japan and MLW working together. But at the end of the day, Will Ospreay coming to MLW should be a big deal when it does in fact happen. And I hope these things get cleared up. I hope it eventually works out for them because I think MLW has a lot of potential. Of course, with some higher production elements, it could be a lot better of a presentation. But as far as creative goes, it's a really great product. And, you know, they do create their own stars. Keep in mind, it's a very fair argument. There is no such thing as MJF without MLW. So for those who even watch AEW, you got Brian Pillman Jr., you got MJF, you got a couple names on that roster that came from MLW. And I get it. People want to see Jacob Fatu or Hammerstone on WWE or AEW. Court Bauer will tell you he doesn't agree with that, and rightfully so. But hopefully whatever's happening with MLW does get resolved soon because I do think they are a great product. I just don't think it's beneficial to have them work with AJPW versus NJPW. So that's just my 2 cents. I want to know what you guys think. Go ahead and sound off in the comment section down below. But now it is time to talk about one of the biggest stories, and that is Tony Khan coming out and revealing that he has some major plans for AEW. He has some big cards and surprises planned. Obviously, the quarterly pay-per-views are a big focus for AEW. But coincidentally enough, for those who watch AEW and watch WWE, you might have noticed that Kyle O'Reilly said his goodbyes to the NXT universe. Now, while there is no exact date just yet, with Tony Khan revealing that there are plans and surprises to be expected very, very soon, one of the biggest beliefs is that Kyle O'Reilly will in fact be joining AEW, and the guesstimated date is for the Winter is Coming episode. Now, I do want to sound off on this because I get a lot of, feedback from people in Discord or on Twitter, and usually people are telling me, Ango, why don't you want to see AEW sign Kyle O'Reilly? Don't you want to see people get an opportunity elsewhere? And my answer to this question is very simple. Kyle O'Reilly was never misused in WWE. The Undisputed Era were never misused in WWE. And if you are one of those people that are telling yourself that they were misused in WWE, then you need to go look at all of the accolades that the Undisputed Era held down while they were in WWE. Kyle O'Reilly, in my opinion, was never misused, and I would have loved to see Kyle O'Reilly been placed somewhere else in WWE and given a shot on his own to see what he can do. Now, with that being said, I am not against the idea of AEW signing Kyle O'Reilly. I just don't want to see something that we have seen before, which is the Undisputed Era come together. Now, with that being said, I would love to see Red Dragon come back together and turn on Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. Personally speaking, that's what I would like to see. But ultimately, AEW is in a situation, if they are bringing in Kyle O'Reilly, if I am seeing Undisputed Era on AEW, no different than what I saw on NXT, I'm not sure how AEW is an alternative to WWE. That's my only point. I'm not criticizing AEW. I'm not even saying AEW is bad. You guys know I thoroughly enjoy AEW. I just don't want to see something that's been rehashed from WWE. And that's my only concern with Kyle O'Reilly jumping ship to AEW. Now, if AEW can do something different with these guys, hey, I'm all about it. But there are a lot of things I want to see in AEW. And trust me when I tell you guys, if I've seen it in WWE, I don't want to see it again because I like AEW for being the alternative, not being WWE 2.0. And I'm pretty sure 100% of the people that watch this channel will actually agree with that. AEW is an alternative. We want to see an alternative. We don't want to see rehashed things that we've seen before, which is one of the reasons why we're turned off by WWE, because every single week it is the same thing. So again, Kyle O'Reilly going to AEW could be really, really cool. I think it happens at Winter is Coming. Obviously, Tony Khan is really excited about Winter is Coming, obviously promoting it, but also at the same time too, I just want to see something different, and I have a feeling AEW will do something different. I want to hear you guys' comments and opinions down below in the comment section, so let me know what you guys think. And if you guys missed any of the previous videos on this channel, don't forget to click that video that's right up top. Yeah, click one of those videos and don't miss out on more. Click that subscribe button, ring that bell. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.